serious. I think that's a good idea.
Just talking? Well, what's the show about?
It's about nothing.
No story?
No, forget the story.
You gotta have a story.
Who says you gotta have a story?
Some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. Some men just want to watch the world go.
Instead, only try to realize the truth. There is no spoon.
There is no spoon.
I'll tell you what it's worth. Not a damn thing. It's a waste of time.
That type of thing. So, we'll probably end up covering more mechanics just sort of that we miss as we go. But for now, we're going to move more into the aesthetics now of the game and sort of how we see it looking, because, it's got to look good for anybody to want to play it. And, here we're getting a little bit more shameless in our rip-offs.
Absolutely no shame.
But at the same time, it's a lot of fun. And at the same time, it wouldn't have to stay like this. We could
Well,
steadily...
you can obviously change it. It's just kind of to set an idea.
Well, if League is the skeleton which we're building this off of, and it's
Right.
going to be the bone work, we could just decide which bones don't need to stay.
yeah, right, yeah, and which ones you want to change. And I think this would be a lot of fun for League kids. Like, it was a lot of fun for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Just
mean,
talking
Big
about
Kev,
it.
how long did we spend yesterday?
We spent about an hour or two just thinking of ideas, looking up stuff, just to relate it. So
to League, yeah. And it was a blast. So, so we'll start with some of the aesthetics. First of all, let's go over the levels. Now, actually, the only level I even really like to play in League is honestly Summoner's Rift. It's the main game mode.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Oh man, it's a warm feeling you get when you hear that, right? You're like, I'm home. But welcome to Summoner's Rift. It's the competitive game mode or map that they play in the pros, and it's the most complete, I guess I would say, game mode in terms of bringing together the strategy, the skill, the teamwork, and things of that nature.
well, I mean, it's the only map used for the big competitive play. So.
Right, and it is the first map they ever.
Well, it's
made.
what you think of when you think League.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. So running with that, we think instead of Summoner's Rift for a Smash Brothers MOBA, you could have the Mushroom Kingdom. Okay,
Hey, that's Nintendo's poster
it just
child.
makes sense, and you got to raid the castle or something instead of a Nexus. It could be a big castle. on the
One's
other side.
Bowser's, one's the
One's
mushrooms.
Bowser, yeah, one's the Mushroom Kingdom.
One's Peach or something. Yeah, that'd be wicked sweet already. I'm gonna be wicked psyched to play that.
So, like, one side would be, like, the dark lava Bowser area, and then, of course, you'd have the green, grassy Mushroom
Ooh,
Kingdom.
and
Yeah.
okay, now we didn't think of all that.
Well, then you can
Right.
just have Toads or Yoshis being involved in the creeps going.
No, you can't. Well, Yoshi's a playable character.
Yeah.
Well, no, but they're little Yoshis.
His offspring.
Yeah. I mean, there always were other Yoshis.
Well,
Yeah.
because I mean, if you think about it, in Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo, weren't you killing your offspring? Because you eat, you poop an egg, and you literally chuck the egg at people and it breaks. It explodes
Apparently they're expendable.
on them. Yeah, right. Yoshis don't care about their kids very much. Yeah, you just send them
Well, I
off.
mean, if you can pop them out every 2 seconds, it's not really a big deal.
Who really cares? And, who
There's
cares
no
if...
social commentary to what's being said.
Yeah, let's not continue with that. So let's not differentiate the sides. It's going to be a Bowser Castle. It's going to be a Peach Castle. But for now,
Yeah.
for what we've already thought of, instead of towers, we were thinking, oh, how about that? Okay, one side has the fire trap flowers. So you remember in Super Mario World and Super Mario 3, you have the green pipes, and some of them you could go down, but then other ones, the plant would pop up and shoot fireballs at you. That could be one side, and then the other side could be big
bills.
cannons with bullet bills.
Bullet bills coming out, yeah.
So, and that would be really cool, because the same thing like with the towers in League, as long as you're not near them as an enemy, they won't shoot. When you get in their range, they light up and start shooting at you. So it could be the same thing where is when you go by the pipe, then the flower pops up and fireballs at you, and for big damage, or with the bullet bills if you're going the other way. That just altogether fits too well.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
Which brings us to Minions.
Yeah, so go over some minions. Big Kev, let's talk some minions.
Alright, so we were thinking for, you have your minions and mage minions that come out at the lane. So instead we were thinking Goombas and winged Goombas.
Yes.
And then every third or fourth wave, I guess, a cannon minion comes along with those to kind of help you push the lane that's really good against towers. But we were thinking for that, it would be like Hammer Bros.
Yes.
Yep.
And that, because I don't know if anybody has ever played Super Mario 3, but Hammer Bros, you have one chance to kill them. Like, literally, because the way it works is when you come on the screen, they do their initial hop up on the thing, and if you haul and time your jump right, you can hit under the square before they maybe throw one hammer. But I've had them where I miss, and then they start turning and throwing them everywhere, and you're like, So they're just a nuisance. They're like that next level up. They're not really that bad or intimidating, but like compared to a Goomba, like you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, Goombas, you just step on their head and they're done.
Right? Yeah, you just kind of curb stomp them, and that's that. And you know, with
Might be
Canon,
why our generation's so violent. We grew up stepping on people's heads as a means to an end.
maybe that's why we get stuff done, Mike. How about that? You can do that. So
The only way to move forward is to step on the corpses of your friends.
Have you been watching Game of Thrones again?
Game of Thrones has taught you well, Padawan. Well, that's two different universes there. Let's not go there.
Yes.
So canon
There's a Harry
minions-
Potter joke I could make there, but I don't want to.
We don't want to get that shameless. So, you know, the canon minions, too, especially once you get super minions, are actually kind of imposing. Like, sometimes if you're squishy and you're, like, sitting there trying to kill a canon minion, you're like, am I about to lose to a minion right now? And I'm level, like, max level? So I think I like that all fits really well. Now let's move on to the jungle creeps. What would equate to a jungle creep in Smash Bros. MOBA, Big Kid?
Well, what we were thinking was, like, Cloud Dudes. I don't know their exact name, so we just call them Cloud Dudes.
Yeah.
We have the bloopers, and then Booze. I think the Booze was one of the coolest ones. That would be a jungle creep.
Because we were, like, instead of rates, you could have Booze.
Yes.
And instead of, like, wolves, bloopers, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cloud Dude... Oh, you know what? We had the other way around. Cloud Dudes was race, and we had the Boo as the white buff. It's just a big boo. You could go up and fight. And then let's talk about the objective creeps now.
So, you know there's both a dragon and Baron in League, so what we were going to associate with those was for the dragon, we're going to do a Chain Chomp.
Yes, Chain Chomp.
Chain
It's so
Chomp
perfect.
is so cool. Yeah, I love Chain Chomp.
That's
especially in like Mario Party, you know.
You know,
just
Chain Chomp, fun fact, was in The Legend of Zelda. And it was only in... I think it was only in... No, it was in Link's Awakening. It was... I played it on Game Boy because they remade it for Game Boy, but I think it was originally on Super Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
It was a Chain Chomp. I don't know why. It just popped in my head.
But so, for
different.
Baron, what we were thinking was Master Hand, because he was the final boss of Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, Master Hand's so perfect. And he could do like Baron, he could shoot little lasers out that'll hit you periodically. And he could slam and pop you up and stuff. I don't know. It was one of those things where, as a joke, we were like, "Oh, instead of minis, you have Goombas," and then we ran with
You
it.
can also do the gun, where he like forms the gun with his feet and then shoots you.
Yes. It was one of those things like we started out with minions, and then like as we started just equating it, we had like perfect answers to everything that you could need.
I'm like, for jungle blue! Or boo for jungle.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So think about, since we don't have buffs, like Baron gives you a nice buff. What if Master Hand dropped an item, 5 items?
Oh, that'd be good.
So everybody gets an item or something.
If we wanted to be
or
really,
3 items, maybe.
Or if we wanted to really be jerky about it, I think it's specific to Project M, but that glass thing that you can break, and you get your character's ultimate.
Oh.
The Smash Ball.
That would be...
that would be ridiculous.
I would say,
then
if we were going to do that, I think it'd be cool if one person got a...
Yeah, one person got the Smash Ball.
Yeah, and you had to choose. That'd be kind of fun, too. You'd have, like, bickering. Like, let me get it. My ult's good.
I think the support grabs it, and everyone's like, screw you!
Right.
GG! Surrender.
Of course, then Fox gets his super tank and just smashes
it. Right. Yeah, maybe no ultimate smashes.
But we could adapt them.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fun ways you could go with that, and aesthetically, it'd just be a lot of fun.
Or, of course, you could always make Master Hand the one guy that gives the buff. You would give the Master Hand buff and do like a little bit of something.
Right, yeah, fair enough.
He
so maybe you all become metal or something, but you might not want to be metal, depending.
Yeah.
So let's keep moving on then.
What if you become metal and you're already heavy? It really slows you down. You're like, oh crap.
Right. Yeah, the one thing we didn't think about, but you could run with, is for the items. You just have a Hylian shield.
Yeah.
It could be mysteriously Runark Bulwark.
Runic Bulwark.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. So, haha. But just little items like that you could run with, or maybe you could go the Blizzard route and just not have items, or have built items. You just level up your character a certain way, and then the items you get from drops or maybe the differentiate. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things we can do that we could get into.
A lot of different directions.
Well, I guess it would. I mean, I don't know. On the one hand, it never factors in. Like, you never see Ash with Randuin's Omen running around. I mean, that would be silly. But I mean, it'd be kind of cool.
Because you don't play Ash correctly. But yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, obviously, Ike isn't going to be wearing Samus's suit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, why do you think
Mario with Link's sword?
Why do you think Ash is out of meta right now? Nobody knows to build Randuin's armor. Just a little tip for anyone listening: if you want to bring Ash back to the mainstream, you got to start building.
She has to go mid.
Rush Randuin's mid, build AP.
So,
you know what? I'm going to do that today. I'm going to play a pub game. I'm going to rush Randuin's.
You're going to have fun, not because you do well, but because you just ruined everyone else's day. So, okay, let's keep going then. I think that about covers Summoner's Rift. So, the next game mode we were thinking of was the 3v3 map, the Twisted Treeline. And we're thinking, instead of that, you could have the Hyrule Temple map. And then now, all of our minions and whatnot are going to match that universe. So, Big Kev, let's talk about towers a little bit.
Yeah, so we're going to start with towers. And what we were thinking, or at least, is giant Deku scrubs. Those little guys that would hide in the grass and then pop up and shoot Deku nuts at you.
Yes! I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you can't be that upset if you're losing, or you die, to a Deku nut. I mean, come on, you got hit by a Deku nut.
Of course, they'd be
the
holding
only,
Deku
the
nuts.
only,
It'd be a little weird.
The only one you have to blame is you.
Yeah.
You lost a Deku nut.
Right? I mean, you just like getting nutted on your head.
Unlike the game, though, they
We're
won't
gonna
hide
walk
when you
away
get
from
close
that
to them.
That'd be a lot of trash talk. Like, if somebody dies under tower.
You just got nuts to the face.
If somebody dies under tower, it's like, meet me in jungle, the tower saved you. It's like, yeah, you got nutted on. Like, I don't care. So then, I think Deku Scrubs works for towers. What else? What are we thinking for minions and whatnot?
So, the names are a little weird, but we got...
Yeah, we realized that we did not know the name. It's like Mario, where you know the names of, like, all the stuff.
Well, because they're so weird.
They're weird.
Yeah.
I know that. There's a lot of them.
But so we were thinking, like, minions would be bokoblins, I guess. They're basically just goblins.
Yeah, they're almost...
Copyrighted?
They're generally...
Maybe.
Right. Yeah, they're generally the first mobs you fight in, like, the forest areas of some
ugly,
games.
orky-looking
I
things.
think you fight them first in Twilight, you fight them first in Skyward, and you fight them relatively early on in Wind Waker. So there's little, like, troll-looking dudes.
Yeah. And then we're thinking for the mages, mostly because we couldn't find a Hyrule kind of associative minion for, like, an archer or a mage, but we went with the Shadow Bulbin archers, which is from Twilight Princess.
Right. Oh, yeah. And Big Kev was adamant. He's like, we gotta get some Twilight in there. 'Cause we didn't have any Twilight references.
Twilight was, I think, the only Zelda game I actually got all the way through just because I had it myself, so I played it and got through it.
And it was definitely one of the good ones. I guess they're all great.
They're all really good.
And then for cannons?
Cannons, we were doing Skulltulas, I guess. The spiders with the face on their back.
Yep. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Ogrini had, like, slingshot them, and then they turn around.
Yeah, they would turn around, and then you'd stab them in their abdomen.
Right. So once again, like, not the most imposing enemy, but kind of annoying. And that's the cannon minion for you.
And then on Twisted Treeline,
like I would smite a Skulltula if I had to, in lane.
Pull a little Frodo back.
Burn the Skulltula.
Oh man, we didn't even think of summoner spells.
Yeah, that was one we totally skipped over. But
well, maybe you don't have them. We don't need them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dota, like, they don't even have spells like that. They don't have
spells that anybody can.
Yeah, not just
take.
anyone can use.
Right.
But so on Twisted Treeline, there's a big creature called the Vilemall, which gives a buff.
It's a big spider thing.
Yeah, big giant spider thing that really destroys your team if you're not prepared.
Right.
But so we were thinking our associative part would be Koloktos, which is like a 4 or 6 armed
Yeah, it was a 6-armed Colossus looking thing.
Almost like a Buddha thing, like the whatever.
I don't know if
just with a lot more ass whooping involved.
I think the one I remember from Skyward Sword, and it was really cool because you had to first you had to cut off one of its arms. It'd swing at you. You cut off its arms, and you pick up its big old sword. Remember that? Because you pick up its sword, And you can, like, mega swing it and, like, cut off, like, 2 arms at a time and stuff. So, and the reason we thought it would go work with Vialmaw, because Vialmaw has all, like, the weird
The arms and
arm
stuff.
thingies that it's shooting at. And if somebody was like, no, you should make a giant skull the Vialmaw, I would buy that too. That'd be fine.
That'd be pretty.
But then we'd have to find every cannon minion, and that just takes time.
No, you could just have a giant. No, you could have. It's the mommy. It's
That's
the big old mommy.
the mammoth mama.
And it's angry.
It would be the gold Skulltula.
The gold Skulltula, yes. Be perfect. Is there anything else we're leaving out for, and then obviously it could just be, I don't know, you could just have a castle again.
Yeah. I mean, there are minions in Twisted Treeline as well, so you could either use like other Hyrule Temple like minions and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, really, it's one of those things where we could find the image and you would recognize that me, but you're not going to recognize the name.
Yeah, it's a name.
Yeah, so we'd have to fill it. Are there any? I mean, it's like wraiths. They're pretty generic. The jungle creeps.
Yeah, they're all just pretty generic.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any other than Vialmaw. There's no buff.
There's no buff.
No. So, now let's move onwards to the Crystal Scar.
So, like we were talking about Dominion for Crystal Scar, we were thinking the Pokemon Stadium.
Gotta catch them all.
And so each of the points would be like different environments. So like one would be like a frosted wasteland, basically. You would have a desert or a grassy area. I know Kev was talking about how maybe if you could incorporate it for a balance, the environments would have like the snow, like if a snowstorm maybe went on the snow area, right. You would like slide, or if it's a snowstorm, you'd be slowed because you can't move through a snowstorm that fast.
And then like, for the grass, you could have an abundance of stealth options, like you could run in the grass where you don't have those. Because in League, they have grass everywhere. You wouldn't necessarily have to have the grass as prevalent. Unless you're in the grass arena part of the Pokemon Stadium. Maybe with like lava, it's just like a dot, like a really...
Yeah, like a really small dot that's just constantly taking away your health or something like that.
So you have to like send your tank in for it or do something like that. Or you can't just mindlessly run to it if you're kind of low.
Or like the only safe spot is the point itself.
So you could CC them. You could like little knocks. Like you wouldn't have to big time knock them away. You just have to knock them into lava repeatedly.
Oh god, that would be that. Well, it'd just be like a normal Smash when you knock somebody off and they're trying to get back. Like, no, get down, no, get down.
Right.
Of course, I don't think the lava would be up 24/7. It would be like a periodic thing would come up and go down.
Map awareness.
It'd be like in Pokemon Stadium and Smash Bros. When sometimes you just have the flat stadium and then and it like transforms as you go, and it's always really a nuisance in my opinion, but whatever.
And then of course we would have Pokeballs as the droppable items.
Oh yeah, I forgot we thought of that. Yeah, this would make me maybe actually want to play a Dominion style game. The only thing that drop are Pokeballs.
That'd be crazy.
And you don't know which. Well, do you know what Pokemon you
know?
No.
Maybe it's dependent on the area.
Exactly. So for lobby, you might get Charizard, but you're not going to get Charizard in the grass area.
Of course, you could always do the troll move and make Goldeen drop in everywhere, so that sometimes you get Goldeen.
But
Magikarp.
But Goldeen is like Jigglypuff's sleep move, to where if you land it just perfectly in the right area, it's a home run hit that just kills him. Just because. Because isn't that all Goldeen had? Horn Attack?
Well, actually...
I mean, how many different times did Misty throw Goldeen out when there was no water? I mean, I was like, Misty, how many times are you gonna... Like, once? Shame on...
At least she didn't purchase a Magikarp.
She should have just put it in a slot that was by itself, so she would be like, oh, that's that one. And then never grab it again.
I mean, Ash always had that problem with Butterfree. You throw a Butterfree, be like, oops, you just call it back, because, I mean, why would you ever call Butterfree?
Confusion.
Confusion and sleep powder.
And then he just sends it away to go.
Yeah, because he traded.
Go make babies.
Wait, was it? What did he trade for?
No, he didn't trade it.
He traded for the Raticate, then he got
it back,
salty.
and then set it free.
Yeah, he set it
with
free
a little yellow ribbon,
so that it would go mate. And they never got it back.
Because there's not enough Butterfrees.
He gave up his Charizard. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
Screw Ash. Go red.
Ash has a heart. I don't appreciate it. It's just.
Well, that, and he's been 10 for so many years now.
Right? He's clearly a vampire with no actual soul.
And he saw Ho-Ho, and he had to ride Lugia.
He's traveled the world in less time it would take.
Well, he's honestly, he's gotten to meet and been able to capture every single legendary Pokemon, and you're still not a master?
Right. And he only has like 8 badges.
It's like, who out there is better than you right now?
Yeah, right.
Gary,
because he keeps his good Pokemon. And Ash just keeps getting rid of them.
You see King's like, can I take a break? No! You're mine!
Yeah. I mean, I think that was because he knew, he was like, I'm never gonna, like, when he'd go to the Johto region, he's like, I got all these other cool Pokemon to catch. I'm never gonna use you again, so I'm not just gonna leave you in Bill's computer. I'm gonna
let you go.
because I'm gonna care about the same amount.
Okay, we're gonna hold up that little shrew thing, the fire shrew from that region. Charizard. Shrew thing? No.
Yeah, right.
I'm keeping you.
Torchic? Charizard. Torchic? Charizard.
I mean, Charizard looks like a dragon, but
And then we were thinking for the Howling Abyss, the all random, all mid map, we were thinking maybe a little bit...
Something that random.
F-Zero Racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lane, I don't know, it's real simple. It fits. And then we were saying... Nah, the cars don't come through. We're saying, because in the level, remember the Smash Bros. Level, the cars always come through at the worst times.
You're like, no.
No race cars come. They come through in the background periodically.
no, I was saying that you would be fighting on the cars, because there's that one F-Zero map that you play on Super Smash Bros., and you're literally on the cars as they're driving or whatever.
You're on a giant... Oh, okay, so it's like a giant car. You're like really small.
Well, not a giant car. But, I mean, do we remember the map? It's literally the cars are just connected to each other for some reason. It doesn't really make sense, but that's how it is.
Well, like we said, it's as random as F-Zero itself.
Yeah. And then, like, it won't happen on this map, but, like, on the F-Zero map, the cars would break off from one another and you'd fall off and go through the track and die.
Right. You know what I didn't think about? What are the minions for F-Zero? They're just little cars. Little cars on top of bigger cars? Oh, well, I don't even care. But F-Zero for ARAM, that's about all the brain power that game mode deserves. And it's just whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a random map that you play for fun, so,
right.
I mean...
It's a fun little waste of time is really what it is. If you're kind of burnt out from... Because it takes a lot of concentration to play the main mode, and it takes a lot out of you. Especially if you play a 45-minute game that's down to the wire, it's draining. Like, you physically feel like you just worked out or
just
something.
feel your juice getting, like, sucked through. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
You're like, alright, no more of that. Let's
Except it's your willpower. You're like, I don't want to do anything
It's
anymore.
your will to live, to exist. Your will to take your next breath. So now for what might be the most fun part of all of this, in our opinions. Clearly, the most important thing in League, are the characters, the champions themselves. That's what draws you, is that attachment.
That gives you your own little, like, I like this because of this character. Like, this is my little piece of the game.
I mean, with all fighting games I play, I usually think about a friend. Like, if somebody's like, we should play, I literally think of the character they play. Like, if they're like, we should play. I think about it. I think about that character and equate it to them. You know what I mean? Like, they are their character. And so...
I'm Bowser.
Yeah, you are Bowser.
Suicide Drop Bowser.
Right, at least you're not Donkey Kong anymore.
Douchebag Bowser.
Yeah, I don't miss grab Suicide Donkey Kong at all.
I didn't win, but I chose who lost.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Of course, you can also play Kirby and do the same thing, suck them up and then waddle off the map.
Right. At least they can, like, somewhat break out of it sometimes, but probably not.
But Bowser, if I grabbed it, you're just like, God.
Done. So running with characters, we kind of went through as much of the Smash Brothers roster as we could fathom. And even tried to include several of the characters from the new Wii U game, the Smash Bros. U, that are coming in, and try to equate what their role would make the most sense for. And sort of thinking how the characters play in the fighting game, we realized that so many of these characters can go so many different roles. And so, the big thing with this game, I think that would be cool, is if we could try to make it so balanced that you could play your character in your role.
And it could be pretty flexible. Like, obviously you can't do everything. Like, Bowser is not going to be an 80 carry.
Right.
But Bowser can top. Bowser can jungle, and Bowser can
He'll just fire breath them
So-
from afar.
Right. And so, we've categorized these by lane or role, but, if we feel they could fit in other roles, we'll let you know. And hopefully you agree. So let's start with AP mid lane. Everybody knows one of my favorite characters in Smash Brothers is...
Loch Ness.
The Rock Ness monster. Punk Rock Ness monster, because Project M, they added a punk rock skin for Ness.
Oh, no.
One of my favorites. The Rock Ness monster. And he would undoubtedly be a mid laner. I guess I should have said, Do I say we're starting in mid lane?
AP mid. We're starting.
We're starting with, like the equivalent of
what an AP mid would be for League, yeah.
Right. And, you think about Ness, he's like the ultimate caster. He's got PK Lightning, he's got PK Fire, he's got a PK Thunder! He's got it all. He's even got a Reflector Shield if you want to use it.
It's not really a reflector, it's more like an absorber.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It absorbs. Yeah, it absorbs. Which would be kind of fun. It'd be like Silver Spell Shield or something. But he's undoubtedly a caster. I think he would be a perfect mid laner. One thing, I think, didn't we agree? We wanted to try to make it so everyone has at least, like, one good melee move. So, yeah, it'd be like you have 3 skills that are, comparable to what they have in the fighting game, plus, like, a really good physical hit. So, Ness would have Home Run Pad or something. I don't know. Or you could do a yo-yo. I'd be fine having the yo-yo. Everyone underestimates the yo-yo, okay?
It's really tricky.
And then his ultimate would be like Pika Starfall or something like that.
Yeah, oh man, we have to think of what the ults would be. I think he would definitely have a skill shot, PK Lightning. Or maybe PK Fire would be like a straight skill shot. And maybe PK Lightning would be one you could guide for a certain time.
Or it was like shotgun, just it's weaker.
That shoots 3, maybe in like a cone.
and they're all weaker than the middle one, proportionally, but you can hit more.
Right, like a Kha'Zix type deal.
Yeah.
Maybe his ult would just be PK Thunder, but it's slow.
That might be too,
Yeah. So, yeah, he'd be a lot of fun. Who else? We were thinking of, let's see, who else we have?
Well, we can just go down the list. So, like, Zelda. Zelda, I know my sister really loves playing Zelda. She uses the fireball to an extent that gets annoying.
Oh, because you can guide it, right?
Yeah, you can guide it, and you just stand on one end, and then, like, they try getting to you, and you just fireball in your face.
Once you get them off the edge of the stage, you just keep throwing fireballs at them. And I think, didn't we decided to break Zelda and Sheik into their own characters?
Yeah, so you're not going to be transforming back and forth.
Right. Oh, man, do we want a transform mechanic?
I mean, I was kind of thinking one with Link later, but...
Yeah, no, I like keeping them separate. So yeah, Zelda, definitely a caster mid. She has a reflector. Right? She does the triangle. Or a pyramid, I guess it would be in 3D. She like spins, right? Doesn't it reflect stuff?
Oh yeah, that's right. She spins and it does like the crystal.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a crystal and it has like a barrier.
Right.
Which is actually really annoying too if you get hit by it.
Right. And I think that would be cool, is like if Mario could have a cape too. So it's like you can reflect stuff, but only directly back where it came. So it's like if they stand still for too long, it'll hit them. Then that'd be fun on the mechanic, because I don't think they really have a rebound mechanic for anybody in League that I can think of. You can absorb now with Braum, OP, but you can't reflect. So this would be a fun one. Zelda and Ness both, I think.
Watch, they make a mirror champ now. Like this, somehow he's got.
He's just a giant mirror.
I'm Mirror Man.
All his abilities turn him into a mirror.
Really reflect.
So Ness and Zelda are both straight mids. I'm pretty sure we can agree.
Yeah.
This next one, he's a little bit more versatile, but we put him primarily in mid lane, and we were thinking Solid Snake.
I was thinking he's like the Zed for this game.
He'd be your AD mid.
Yeah, he's the assassin mid. So
right.
He's just so darn slippery.
Right. Well, because if you think about it, I think that or a mid lane, sorry, I guess I should say, because we don't have AP in this game, would be more percentage heavy, but still good damage, whereas like your bot lane carry is the straight more damage.
Yeah. Well, they'd be like the bursty, like they may do a lot of both actually, but it's, I did it once, so now I have to wait for a cooldown before I'm able to do something again.
Right. Yeah, because, oh my goodness, with Ness, the fire would be more of a CC, because maybe the fire is what pops him up and adds a good amount of percentage.
Well, yeah, because if you remember, you get hit by a peak of fire, you're like
stunned there for a while, right? And then he can run up and do like his Q, which is just a yo-yo hit or something like that. That would be really cool. So, Solid Snake, I think he would be a good mid lane because he's a deceptive one.
He could put like mines in the ground, which would, if you like, they would disappear after a little bit of time. And then if you walked over it, he would pop you up.
Right? Yeah, he'd be a nuisance. But
he'd be like Teemo and Zed combined. I don't like where this.
Right. Well, and I would say like that, he could be a good jungler because you could lay the mine like right here, and then hit him, and all of a sudden all the creeps come up and all does damage to all of them or something. I definitely see Solid Snake as being a jungler and a mid, which is pretty cool. There's a couple of those. Diana, I guess, if you're fine not ganking. Kha'Zix, yeah. There's a couple jungler mids. So moving on, we got Pikachu. Pika P.
Really lends itself to AP.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely a caster. I mean,
Pikachu's almost self-explanatory.
Yeah, right. I mean, he could technically be a bruiser, because I equate him to the Hulk of this game. I don't know if anybody's ever played Marvel vs. Capcom, but Hulk, you just hit circle and you win, like Pikachu.
Team Noah?
Just hit B. Yeah, Team Noah for life. Until he's an adult and not the underdog. Right. But, you know, with Pikachu, you just hit B and you win. no, I'm just kidding.
Down B for life.
Yeah, down B and you win. But yeah, Pikachu's definitely caster. I can see him... Could I see him going anywhere else? Could he be a jungler? He could blast off again and
he could be a jungler.
lane.
He could be a jungler.
Yeah, he could be a good jungler. Next one's definitely straight mid laner. Mewtwo.
Mewtwo,
Yeah.
yes.
Do we
for
even
sure.
need to explain why Mewtwo is a caster?
No. We could probably lend him to a little bit of a CC support mode if need be.
Right.
Kind of like Morgana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
He
Yeah,
probably could end up being like that because he would control them with like his psychic ability and everything like that.
Right. He could be both, though, because if he gets fed, then he throws the ball through everybody.
Oh, God. That'd be pretty bad. So he's kind of like Rise Morgana. Yeah.
Now, this next character was one of the characters that breaks the game. There's a couple that break our game, but she also breaks Smash Brothers, in my opinion, because I hate her. That's Princess Peach. Princess Peach can go a lot of places. We decided to put her at mid, but her whole thing is she's so mobile. She can throw... Does she throw toads? Toadstool.
No, she puts up a toad to
Toad,
reflect.
yeah, to reflect, right.
Such a good queen to her people. So,
Yeah, right. Just
so
using
thoughtful.
them as human shields, or I guess toad shields. But I don't know. She can go a lot of places. I see her being a top laner, a jungler, a mid laner,
Maybe a support too.
maybe even a support. Yeah, because I could see her having an Ari like charm ability, where she like kisses them and they come to her.
Yeah.
She would be very mobile though. I think it'd be cool to have her where she gets like a 2-second glide or something, where she can go through minions and maybe even over walls with it. Oh man, that might be a little too unfair.
Nice.
Well, you just have to make it have a crazy cooldown. Like you can only use it once every like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Like once you use it, you're not ganking for the next little bit or something like that.
And so that's the thing, like that point too. So like that actually adds mental stress to using it. You're like, use it right now.
Right? Yeah, you can't like that'd be the big thing because every character has kind of an ability or two that you might think is OP, but you just have to make it. So you have to be thoughtful in the way you go about using it. And then one of my favorite characters, Squirtle. Also my favorite Pokemon of all time, so that might have something to do with it. But I think he would definitely be a mid laner. I think he would be... I mean, because you think about it, he would have like a bubble beam that could be like a CC move. He'd have a water gun for damage. And then he's also really...
He could pop into a shell and spin like
he could spin. That would be his mobility move. What would his ult be?
Hydro Pump, dude.
Hydro Pump.
It would just pump up water underneath like the
in an area. His
you
would
go,
shoot...
You go into a shell and you could spin and the water would come out.
You know what? His ult should be like Rammus, where you spin super quick and you get to
water
go for a time, and water just shoots everywhere.
I know he did that in the show a lot. Like he would pop into his hole, and the 4 holes, and water would just come out of him.
That'd be cool.
Which is an awkward thought.
Yeah,
and it could be something where it's like adds a lot of percentage. It's not a pop up, but it adds percentage and damage, just crazy. So then if you combo it with like a Donkey Kong, you could then pop them all up like crazy or something.
Wait, one more gripe about Ash. If you got your Charmander to become a Charizard and it kicked that much ass, what the hell was your problem when it comes to Bulbasaur and Squirtle? Really? You never thought, hey, maybe if I had all three...
If I had a Blastoise and a Venusaur, I'd be undefeatable.
No one in the Elite Four could take me? Because
you have a counter to any Pokemon.
Everything. Not to mention your Pikachu.
Well, and then you have Pikachu, so you have another part to kind of...
Thing is, it's kind of like when somebody gives you something as opposed to when you buy it. You know, Ash just got handed Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander, so he didn't.
He won their love.
Yeah, no, he didn't. I guess he kept the Charmander's tail from burning out, but Brock did most of the work.
Oh, think about it. Legitimately one of the scariest builds in the game is a Snorlax, Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, Raichu, just because you have all Pikachu, and Lapras for ice stuff, and you all bases are covered.
Did you say Dragonite?
You don't need Dragonite. You don't need
Dragonite.
No, Lapras takes care
You
of
need a little
Dragonite-
panache, man.
So Dragonite looks so dopey.
You have
He does.
He's like the BA dragon of the.
Okay,
first
well,
Pokemon
you need a
gen.
Pidgeot then. Because you have
to have someone that you can fly around with.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be walking everywhere.
I guess
But you're not going to teach Charizard to fly. That's going to waste those
He has
space.
so many other good abilities.
This is gold. This is gold silver. We teach Charizard fly just so we can take out fighting types.
So that about covers who we had set for primary mid laners. And again, you're going to hear us saying that people can go mid, but we're going to move on to the top lane. Big Kev, I'll let you explain this champ because he was one of the ones you were really.
Yeah, Link was one I was thinking about a lot. But so I was thinking, like, there's Jace in League. You may not know about him, but if you do, he starts out with his basically ultimate. It's not really an ultimate, but he can switch between 2 weapon sets. One is a melee set and one is a range set. I was thinking with Link, since Link has so much kit.
Right, he's a master of all trades.
Yeah, he has both his melee and his range, so he would switch between his sword and shield or his bow. Like where if he had his bow set, he would be throwing bombs, or boomerang. Yeah, boomerang. I was thinking. Yeah,
he can have a boomerang, a bomb. Okay, because if you figure if his ult switches, you can have like the Q be a bomb, W be a boomerang, and the E be a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
Yeah, but bow and arrow you could like charge up to do more damage and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a Varus type maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Lee Sin in the way that you trade shock value of your ult for sheer utility.
Yeah. That's what Jace is.
But Lee Sin has it's an ult though.
Yeah, Lee Sin has an ult, but Jace is the one that doesn't.
But his ult is not like I'm gonna kill everybody.
Oh,
it's a very utility based thing.
And it's very like good or bad.
Yeah, and like with Link,
it's temperamental.
Yeah. And with Link, when you switch between the set, like if you switch to your sword and shield, you get maybe a bit more survivability because you have the shield. Right. Whereas if you switch to your range, you have maybe more attack speed.
Because you know what? And we were saying so if you run with that sword and shield, his Q would be a spin that you could charge.
Yeah, the spin, his famous spin move.
And I think it'd be cool if the cooldown was longer, the longer you charged it.
Yeah.
He would have a shield maneuver, perhaps, or something like that. Just it's like he pulls out shield and just increases his durability.
Well, maybe it's his did we give him a mobility move yet?
Well, we were trying to decide. So we were saying because I think with Sword and Shield, he has this.
Yeah, we were talking about the hook shot.
He has this hook shot. So it depends. Do you think the hook shot should drag him to him, or do you think it should drag him?
Well,
to
obviously,
them?
In the game, it always dragged him to where the.
So it should drag him to them.
Drag him to them.
So it's essentially like a Leona E.
I think it should be more like Nautilus, where if you hit a wall or something, it'll also pull you.
Bring you. Okay.
Yeah, so that way you have an escape with it.
Right. But that one can't go over walls.
Yeah, it just can't go.
You go to them.
So
which actually could get you into trouble if someone's like, "Oh, over the wall!" Holy crap!
So and then with that, Link, since he has that mobility, then I think Link would be a good jungler. I think he'd be a good top laner because he could either poke them out and out farm them, or engage them.
And he could do mid if need be.
Yeah, and he could definitely mid because he has that the versatility. So Link is definitely one that goes a lot of places.
Yeah, because he has so much versatility.
Big Kev, this next one's one of your favorites.
Yeah, Ike from Fire Emblem, my favorite character of all time.
Yes. Ike, is there anywhere else he could go but top lane?
Top lane. Maybe mid, but not really.
We didn't really think about his abilities quite as much.
Well, I was thinking because I've been playing Fire Emblem.
Have sword will kill. Done.
Yes, he has a big sword. One of his moves in Fire Emblem is called Aether, and what he does is he has 2 hits basically. So I was thinking you have 2 activatables. Like first you activate it, it does the first hit of a lifesteal.
Right.
So it gives him like a bit of a health on hit, and then his next hit would reduce their defense.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So he'd be a little bit of a debuffer, not just a heavy hitter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is a heavy hitter. Right. It's going to hit twice for a good amount.
Oh, that'd be cool, though. So it's like the first hit lowers it, and the second hit does that more damage?
The first hit gives you, it steals life, basically.
Oh, okay, got you.
And then his second hit reduces their defense.
Okay.
So you'd want to start with it as much as possible, because you want to get some, well, maybe not start with it if you want to get life back.
Right.
But, I mean, just like in Super Smash Bros., he'd probably have his sword where he throws it up and then lands. That would be his mobility move to get out.
Right. And that one wouldn't go super far, but if you use it right, you can go over gaps, I would say. Mm. That'd be a cool one. Like, you have to be literally, like, against the gap, but you can go across it.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be a good movement.
So, because, I mean, you gotta give him something. You can't just lumber and do all melee. I guess he could.
Well, you just have to make him tough enough. So it's like, all right, well.
Oh yeah, he would definitely have a lot.
Well,
of
he's a slow guy.
He would have a huge percentage resistance innately. You know what I mean?
So that would actually that would become okay. So if you have him, you just have him be. I'm going to just build straight tank. I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to fight my way to the tower.
Right.
You know,
just push lane.
Or his mobility would be his dash.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dash in, do damage.
That would help him clear waves too. You just
dash through them and clear it.
So that's the thing. Like you as the other character is like, okay, cool. You can dance around him and poke at him, but be cognizant because he might just really push the lane and then back out.
Right.
And now you've got to deal with the minions.
Right. Next one, moving on. Ganondorf, definitely top laner.
Oh yeah. Big old bruisey.
We didn't think too much to Ganondorf.
Lifesteal.
He's a life stealer. He grabs on you and crushes your soul.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if he was the only character that he can like his auto attack. It takes like 0.5% from him and gives it to you, or vice versa. Like he can decrease his percentage.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking HP. I was like, why would he give you HP?
No. He
Right.
So one of them can give you percentage from him and take your HP too.
Oh.
So he's just sitting there. So he'll be like,
oh, he could reduce your team's percentage. That'd be cool. That's kind of a fun thing.
OP Warwick version coming
That's
up.
definitely. I'm okay. Like in the interest of time, we're gonna move on. But I'm comfortable with that. That's a really cool mechanic for Ganondorf. We don't think of the rest. That's awesome, though. Who knows? We might actually think of some. We're probably gonna think of new things as we go.
Yeah.
Wario. The only thing, Wario definitely top laner. I can see Wario maybe being a jungler. The main thing with Wario is that
motorcycle.
His ultimate is a fart. That's the only thing I think about.
But yeah, motorcycle. That's pretty famous with Wario.
I think his ult would be similar to like a Moomoo. It would just literally CC everyone in a giant radius.
Of gas.
Yes. The thing is, you see it charging because it needs like a 3-second charge. So what you can do is
you just see him like whip out some.
But the reason is he could maybe like motorcycle and then do it. Like you can charge it while doing another ability. So like he could be coming in and you just see it coming and you're just no.
Somebody stop him!
Right. That's about. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No, that's the extent for him. I'm sure there's little things from the games we could add to his.
Right. Then we got some other top laners, the brothers, the bros that started it all. Mario and his bro Luigi.
The plumbers.
You know, Mario, I can definitely see these guys being mid laners, though, too. I can see Mario mid lane.
So what's going to differentiate Mario from Luigi?
Well, maybe I see Luigi being more of a jungler than Mario, because I see Luigi, you know how he has this head explodey, like, jump attack?
Yeah.
Plus he always jumped higher in the games. I see him being higher mobility, lower damage, more CC.
Yeah.
Than higher percentage based.
His ult could be that stupid, weird little dance thing that everybody hates.
Oh my goodness, no. There's a lot of bad memories associated with that ultimate. But, you know, and then like Mario, he's a little bit more of a duelist because of his cape. Like, he has his cape.
Fireball.
Yeah, they both have Fireball.
Yeah, they both do.
But Mario's is faster. I see Mario's Fireball being better than Luigi's.
Just because Luigi has it.
Mario can breakdance. I guess they both breakdance.
Yeah.
Luigi can interpretive dance. It's
right.
very different.
Ooh, maybe Luigi has the spin move. Like, I know they both have in the game, but you give Luigi a spin move because that way he can clear creeps faster. So he's a little bit more of a jungler. Let's think. What would their ults be?
Okay, so Luigi's
maybe the coin punch would be Mario's ult, and it just does a lot of damage or something like that.
And then Luigi could have maybe something from Luigi's Mansion.
Ooh, vacuum somebody up. Oh, what if Luigi had a vacuum move and Mario had a hydro pump move?
That would be pretty cool.
From Sunshine. I don't know. We'd have to think about it. That'd be kind of cool though. If you each their respective gadget. Oh, Big Kev. Wait, are you big? Well, you like Fire Emblem, so I'll let you tell the next one.
Well, Marth would basically be much like Ike, but in the fact that he's a lot faster.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could almost think Riven in a way, I guess.
Right.
Kind of like how
I see
yeah.
I see Ike being a top or support, and I see Marth being a top or a jungler.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe even a mid, depending on how he would be played out.
Maybe like the Yasuo OP mid.
Yeah.
and then my favorite.
Ooh, yeah, Mike, you get this guy.
Charizard. My favorite Pokemon. easily a top line, easily a bruiser. His basic attack is simple. You just whacks him with his tail. It's that simple. He could have kind of a ganking ability where his ult is that like, if you guys remember from the cartoons, he does that little
seismic
toss
slam.
So he could just fly in the air and then land on you. So he could use that, and it'll be kind of like almost like Warwick in a way, or it's like a combination between Warwick and Pantheon because he's picking one person. He's not just slamming on everybody.
Right.
So it's like Pantheon, where I'm coming from the other side of the map and I'm hitting you.
So it would basically be a gap closer and a CC. It's a big percent. It doesn't do much damage, but it does a lot of percentage.
Hold you down.
Right.
Unless you wanted to be risky, maybe it's the only thing from him that scales AP. Although no, his fire would be no more damage.
His fire would be damage, yeah.
So it's the only thing that scales AP. So you might actually build AP Charizard, but it's kind of like AP Ash, except a little more useful. Where it's like, okay, I can do a lot of damage to you, but because of that, I'm weak everywhere else.
Right? Well, there's no AP. It's more the percentage damage.
Yeah,
so he may be set more towards the percentage side. So that you're just like you're literally getting CC.
See that would be kind of where it comes into the build. So he has the Seismo Slam, which scales off the percentage base. Like you have to build items that increase your percentage damage, and then if you wanted to, though, you could maybe his Q is like a flamethrower or something. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
that scales off of the damage. So then you could build him either way. So then you could take him. He could be a top laner, he could be a jungler, or if you want to like maximize his Seismo Slam stuff like that. He scales off percentage, so you put him at support.
Yep.
So these are the ways I think it's kind of cool in that you can put a lot of these characters a lot of places.
Yeah.
And kind of keep the game fresh. I mean, and League has that to an extent. You can play a lot of champs in a lot of lanes. So.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to jungler.
Yeah. Let's move on to one of the funnest roles from League, the jungler, the most versatile role probably.
Yeah.
Most demanded of this role sometimes.
It's always your fault if everything goes belly up, but it's also not you weren't really. I carried you if we win. It's like you carried me. Never mind.
It's usually like the jungler. If anybody's losing their lane, it's usually because they didn't get enough ganks, or the jungler stole their kills. There's a lot of times there's no winning as the jungler with your people, but
yeah.
So I'll start off with one of my favorite.
If all lanes are losing, I need to fix all of it. It's just. Yeah.
Right, yeah, all lanes are losing, it's all because of the jungler. It's like, well, thanks guys.
Well, you see, the jungler wasn't here.
Yeah, thanks guys for not being responsible for anything.
I mean, I may be losing my lane, but it's all your fault.
Yeah. It's like, when you're a jungler, you just have to like sometimes say, okay team, we're going to be accountability buddies. Everybody's holding everybody accountable. If you lose your lane, it's not necessarily because I didn't gank it right when you wanted me to.
Yeah.
So, something like that. So,
or better yet, if the other jungler's camping bot, don't go
push, yeah, right. He's camping. Well, I mean, you keep pushing, so why wouldn't
basically what you do then is waste his time. If he's gonna camp bot, waste his time. Yeah. Don't be available for him to get.
Right. It's not camping if you're under the other person's turret. That's intelligence.
Because and I mean that's the thing. People like he's camping. It's like that means he's not getting experience. You know what I mean? Like he's not farming.
Yeah. So don't push your lane out and let him get kills.
Although junglers need to remember, if he's camping, go counter jungle. Go.
But you know what? That's what we're talking about. Patience. A lot of people don't understand. It's like you don't have you're gonna miss a couple farm up with this wave, but it makes sense because you need the lane to get pushed towards your turret.
But you can miss 6 farm, or you can feed.
Yeah, or you can die. Yeah. So moving on.
Because if you end up dying, you're not only losing out on farm, you're letting them get extra money.
They're bad at math, but anyways.
So talking about junglers, the jungler potential in Super Smash Bros. Arena. We're going to start off with one of my favorites.
Falcon Punch!
Falcon Punch. Show me your moves! Captain Falcon showing us his moves. I think really the only reason I think he's a good jungler, his ult, definitely Falcon Punch. I mean, I don't think there's any disputing
no question.
That. I think one of his abilities definitely have to be Falcon Kick, and that's his gap closer. It just shoots him over. And I picture it being like a VIQ, where it does pop them up if you hit it, but it's not necessarily like a homing move. Yeah, it's a skill shot. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about him. He's one of my favorites. So
his air grapple would be cool.
Ooh, that would be.
But I mean, I don't know how you do that.
That could be like a lockdown. I mean, you could just have a long cooldown, or maybe you could have let's say that Q is his Falcon Kick, and W is his Falcon Hump, for lack of a better term. His Falcon Hug, I guess, would be a better way to put it. But you can only Falcon Hug if you land the Falcon Q, the Falcon Kick. Or just some mechanic like
yeah.
that. Because the thing is, you have to make Captain Falcon high skill curve. Because in Smash Bros, he's one of the hardest to play.
Kind of like
So what, you Falcon kick in, and then as soon as you hit it, you just...
Yeah, you can do it. You
Falcon
can
Falcon.
combo it.
So kind of like these center jacks, where there's a series of events you got to have to win an engagement.
Because that way you can't just run up and hug him. I mean, because I don't see him being a hard CC, but he has some. But he's more of a damage. But he's also, I picture him being really low health. I mean, he's got to die quick.
Or maybe it just has to have the effect like the Asshole where they have to be in the air.
Yeah. And the Q, yeah, true. So maybe, okay, there you go. He doesn't have to do it. The only way he does it himself, though, is a Q. Like, unless your teammate pops him up for you. I like that a lot, actually. And then, let's see. Oh, one mechanic, you know what? We forgot to say. We should have mentioned this all the way back in mechanics, so hopefully you made it this far in the cast. And we'll wrap up soon. One thing I was saying, to make it a little bit more balanced, if you don't follow up the initial pop-up hit with another hit to guide them, there's a recovery window, and they get to click a direction and recover in that direction. So it's kind of like in Smash Bros, how you can dodge, hit L2 to dodge in a direction.
Yeah,
it's basically a recovery mechanic, and it's to make the...
Well, because it really does puts a little more control into the individual.
Right.
Like, if your team's just not having it and you guys are getting schooled, at least you can do something.
Right. And it's not like, I got endlessly juggled and I shouldn't have it.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like
that chance that you can recover and get back into the fight.
Right.
That'd be a fun development, like cat and mouse game. People figure out how to juggle, and the developers chase to take it away.
And, one of the things you think about this whole CC is picture a team fight where everyone lands their CCs, and just picture everyone flying
just flying
everywhere.
in the air.
I think it's awesome, but, maybe some people think that's dumb. So here, we'll start going through these a little quicker. Kirby, though, is our next jungler. Easy jungler. And this one was one that we thought about a little bit more. The main thing with Kirby, we thought, is his ult would be his air suck up, and he gets to suck up one team, or one other champion, but it can be your team.
Mm-hmm.
It can be your team or the opposing
So he can
team.
save you.
So that way...
Well, yeah, he could save you, or he could take a power on your team that you're like, okay, that would be useful to have as well with that. So.
Right. So, you'd have to design it for every character, but, maybe one of the characters has a power that helps him clear creeps early game. So that makes sense to suck you up first. But then, later on, he wants to suck up, Samus and shoot big balls for more damage, and I just think that'd be a fun mechanic. I think it would be balanced. It'd be on a cooldown. You only have 30 seconds, and depending on the hero, maybe it's different cooldowns, but, it'd be, I want your power. Okay, well, come up to my lane. So you have to spend time going to do it. Power. Or come to me. Oh, well, now I'm out of my lane, not farming, you jerk. Yeah. So I think that'd be a really balanced thing.
Sonic is another clear choice.
Sonic, yeah, definitely a jungler. I mean, high mobility. I picture him as the Hecarim. I picture him as Sonic balling around. And I don't see him doing any one thing crazy well. But it's just the fact that he'll
be there, when you need him to be there, because he can get there fast.
He can get there before anybody else. We totally skipped one of our game breakers. We thought,
oh dear gosh, I'm sorry.
Yoshi, definitely a game breaker. Yes. Yoshi can go anywhere. I think he can do all 5 roles. I really do. He can be an 80 carry with his eggs if you want him to be.
He'll throw eggs at you.
Yeah. Yep, he can
ground slam,
lock you down. We pictured him as the Blitzcrank,
with the tongue.
With the tongue.
With a little Ramus action.
With a little Ramus action. I mean, he'd be a heavy hitter. I literally think Yoshi could have everything.
He'd be a Blake Ramus.
He was the true Ramus, though. Didn't we decide he is the true Ramus ability? Yeah. He rolls in the egg and you hit him and it...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is the true Ramus ability.
So basically, whatever he is what you want to build him.
Right. Literally, I think he can go anywhere. And he's one of the coolest, and especially in Smash Bros. In Project M, he's broken, so we'll just leave him broken for our game. And then, obviously, the character that nobody likes, Meta Knight. Meta Knight definitely be a jungler. I see him having high wave clear, or creep clear, with his spin, his tornado. High mobility, he can jump gaps.
It's got a little dash.
Little dashy kind of a thing.
It's a shorter dash, but
his wings, and you just super dashy.
Yeah,
it's a shorter dash, but he can get over walls.
Right. Yep, exactly. And just he's real versatile. I can see him being a top laner. He'll have some dueling capabilities. So, that about wraps up the junglers. But again, we had some before, like Luigi. He was top laner, but we see him being a jungler. Ganondorf. We had a couple other ones I forget. Link. So that covers the junglers. Moving on to everyone's Mike's favorite role. Is it your favorite role, Mike?
Tied.
Tied. 80 carry. The role nobody minds. Let's say that. I mean, usually you're not,
my
like,
worst role, so I mind.
Right.
Well, Carrie was the bee's knees season 2 when it was games were won and lost on the carry.
Right.
Now the love is spread.
Right. So range 80 carry, first and foremost, literally fits this to a T. Fox.
Yeah.
Heavy damage, real jerk.
The problem was he's probably going to be heavy damage really fast, but we got to make him hella squish.
Yeah, he's very squish. But he has mobility. That's so. I picture him being like a Lucian, where he has like he can flame kick through minions to get away or something.
He's very squishy. Like the Gangplank ult, where the Cordelia fires down.
Oh my goodness, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, he calls in Falco or something to come in and. Oh man, did we put Falco?
No.
He's too similar. We don't want to think.
Yeah, that's very similar.
He could call him in.
He calls in dual barrel.
All right, who plays this next champ? I don't.
I play him every now and then. Yeah.
Okay.
Her rather.
Right. So, tell us about Samus, but Kev, I don't know if we thought of much.
Or Mike, if you want to talk about her.
That's all good. My strategy for Samus is to wait on the other end and charge up my blast.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified.
But so, like with Samus, what we were thinking is,
I picture her ult being like Lux. Didn't we say low cooldown?
Yeah, like she would shoot her beam, and it would just be the ball and go through everything.
Right.
Just obliterate it.
She'd have like a little bit of CC with her rocket. If you get hit by rocket, it'd be a skill shot, but if it hits you, it pops you up. I pictured her melee being the. Well, no, because
it could be the fire cannon.
Yeah, let's do that. Because let's make her not have the spin move. Because we should make that an item. You know what I'm talking about? The thing that you pick up and it makes you spin.
Well, I was thinking just her mobility would be she rolls into that ball.
Okay, yeah, she has a ball roll to get out.
Yeah.
Then Diddy Kong, obviously shooting peanuts, little peanut shooters from Diddy Kong. He'd have he could jump from gaps with his jetpack.
Yeah.
His melee would definitely be the cartwheel. Yeah. Maybe,
this stuff writes itself.
He has the ribbon, dude. I know he's not a top laner. You can put him top lane then. Why not? But you could do the cartwheel. Three cartwheels. That goes on cooldown. Or something like that. I don't know. Then next one, this one's pretty obvious, I think. Mega Man. I don't know.
Ezreal.
He could be a mid. Mega Man could be a mid laner.
It could be a mid, yeah.
But he'd also
except AP or percentage Mega Man would actually work as opposed to AP Ezreal.
Right.
Yeah.
See, okay, here's how I picture Mega Man.
You can't see my frowny face.
I know Mega Man games as a platformer, so he's mobile in that, but I see him being not mobile in this. I just see him having like everything you can want. Like all of his weapons are a different kind of blaster, and he's all about positioning. Do you know what I mean? And that's why he'd be a good mid. He'd be like a
each move could be one of the different like weapons he got from the boss.
He'd be kind of like Vayne in a way, where he's very
but he doesn't have a dodge roll.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a dodge
roll. But like Vayne in that positioning is so important with him.
Or Varus. Varus is
so
much better.
Yeah.
No
he
escape.
Has no escape. Yeah.
So
maybe he has like one his ult. Maybe you can see him like Varus. But yeah, exactly. And I think that'd be a cool thing with Vayne. I think that's why he'd be a cool mid. And then our last ranged carry, damage carry, Pit. Pit obviously.
Pit would be more like his
bow and arrows. Yeah. He'd have a teleport with wings essentially, where he could get out of any situation, basically.
Yeah.
So then kind of going through the rest of these. Now we're on to the support role. First and foremost, Donkey Kong. I mean, literally, Donkey Kong was like the template we used to think of a lot of the mechanics.
Yeah, Bongo Man.
But yeah, he can smash you in the ground, which just builds a lot of percentage. He can smash, bongo away. Maybe he's like Volley Bear in that he has a move that makes him run faster for a time, kind of a thing. And Gallop.
Yeah.
So that's Donkey Kong. Mike, did we think of it much for Bowser?
No, well, we did. So Bowser would have kind of like, you have a damage dealing. Your basic attack is the claw. Mm-hmm. You have your little fireball. It's kind of just a utility thing.
Well, maybe the fire is an AoE that builds percentage. Doesn't do much damage.
So it just stacks there. And so that's in that way he's not built for offensive capabilities, maybe for ganking. Whereas skills come in, he can grab you and body slam you, or and that should be his ult. Mm-hmm. And then his third tier.
Maybe his E is a spin.
Yeah.
But it's in place, though.
Yeah.
So it knocks you up, but he doesn't move. Like, once you activate it, that's where it maybe goes out a little bit, but that's where it's active.
Yeah. Well, then another cool thing you could do for the ult is so after you do one ult and you just throw them. 2 ults you just throw them. 3 ults you just throw them. 4th ult that you grab. So it stacks. 4th ultra, you get to body slam.
Maybe, and you get to guide the body slam, because that'd be cool if you body slammed into their team and E'd and just popped them.
Oh, that'd be that'd be awesome.
So he has mobility, but like once. Like, you really have to make it count, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Next one, obviously, King DDD. I picture him being like, I don't... Only like a Heimerdinger in that. I think it'd be cool if you could throw little minion guys.
That's true. Yeah.
And then he...
what would Heimerdinger do?
I don't play him enough to really have many good ones for him. He just has a big hammer. I don't know. He's slow. Builds percentage.
Well, so what he'd do is he'd basically be just lumbering in your face. Harry you. He would harass you. And so, fine, you do damage to him, but he can take it, so...
Maybe his minions stack off of damage. Like, they're like little turrets that shoot you that you can kill. Stacks off of damage, and the rest of the abilities all stack off of
Well,
percentage.
I don't think they'd shoot you. I think they would go up to you and, like, harass you.
Well, yeah, just, like, hit you for damage.
So kind of like a Heimer and Yorick.
Yeah. So he's more about, like, imposing instead of, like, a straight CC or something. I mean, it's CC, but it's more about winning lane with him than dueling. He's not like a duelist support that you want to engage with. One of my personal favorite guys from Smashy Bros and just his games in general, Olimar. Olimar, I could see being a mid lane in a way, but I could also see him being a support first and foremost. Because, you know what? I lied. DDD, he's not like the Heimerdinger. Olimar is.
No,
he's throwing
Olimar.
Pigments.
Olimar's Heimerdinger, Maokai, and Yorick all combined.
Because I think with Olimar, I think he has percentage moves and damage moves, and that way you could build a mid if you want, and you can throw Pikmins at people.
Well, and like in the game, certain Pikmins will do certain things. Like one might build percentage damage a lot more, one might damage you a bit. So
I think kind of like I picture his. You know how in Smash Bros you can throw a line of them to catch yourself, or his up B actually just in general throws a line.
Yeah.
I think he has a skill shot that's like a Zyro, where it can snare multiples in a straight line. He doesn't move, it doesn't like bring him to them or anything, it just literally like stops them right there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
And maybe even adds a little percentage. What else could he have? Did we decide he heals you for life at all? Do you eat a Pikmin? I don't know. No.
Well, he could have a Pikmin, just so the Pikmin that it kind of doesn't poison leech to your ally gives you health points back.
Here, get this. His whistle. You can whistle yourself or allies, and a Pikmin shield runs around him. And so it's
that'd be cool.
damage. That'd be so sick!
It shields you, or it grabs the ankles of your opponent.
No. I picture it just
he
being
was
straight
thinking
up
of just a shield that would block you or
because
an
he
ally.
has the line, the skill shot, is to
right,
CC
right,
them,
right.
and then this one, it's kind of like a Lee Sin, where it's like you can't shield yourself, or you can make them go to your 80k.
Actually, that works better.
Yep. Oh man, I'm so pumped. I want to play Olimar in this game that doesn't exist. Then, Big Kev, did we think of this next one? I didn't think
Ivysaur?
Yeah.
We did a little bit, but it wasn't like too much.
Right.
Well, look at the Vine Whips kind of lend itself to a utility.
Well, yeah, Vine Whip, you could like hold them in place for a little bit.
Yeah.
You would have like Razor Leaf or something, which would like be a straight line.
You could absorb too. You could take from a minion and give to your.
You could do Leech Seed,
right.
which would literally you would throw a seed on like a minion or a champion, and I guess maybe you could choose who it went to, or it'd just go to you.
Oh, for health.
Yeah.
How about whoever kills the minion? You throw the leech seed
That
on
would
it, and
be
whoever
fair.
kills the
Yeah.
minion gets it. That'd be
Whoever
really
damages
cool.
the minion does it.
And then what else? Does he have Solar Beam? That might be a bit OP.
Yeah.
That might make it more of a carry. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Ivysaur could do that. It'd be like a Lux support, you know?
Yeah.
Where it would be for damage.
Right.
A damage support, so
that becomes the question. Okay, well, Ivysaur's gotten 3 of the kills so far.
Do we just let him carry at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, Salty 80 carries like, but, the other team's like, shut up.
But
Just-
good player who's a team player just is like, okay, let's do it and win.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I will get objectives.
Alright, this is the last champ we actually have planned out for this cast. Big Kev, you were pretty excited about this one, so I'll let you talk about it.
yeah, okay. So this is the only one from the new game that we have included here, but it's Rosalina and Luma.
Okay, well, let's just say Lil Mac, top laner. I don't have time to think of him, but...
Yeah, this is a boxer,
Yeah,
so he'd be or maybe even a jungler.
Maybe jungler, yeah.
But so for Rosalina and Luma, I was thinking...
Who, by the way, just in case they don't know what she's from.
She's from the Super Mario.
Yeah, she's a Galaxy girl.
She kind of looks like Peach in a way.
She looks a lot like Peach.
Yeah, a
She's
lot
got
like Peach.
more
But
mystic, and she's got a lovable little star plushie guy.
Yeah, and I kind of thought she was a lot like Lulu from League.
Yeah,
because she can throw Luma out and kind of combo with Luma to do things.
You know what? Let's just put the game. We're gonna link the gameplay video in the description for you guys because her gameplay video looks awesome. It'll give you an idea of what we mean because in the fighting game,
bear with it. It's a little while into the cinematic.
Oh yeah, skip like 2 minutes into it. But like in the fighting game, it looks like the way they designed her as Luma is like she mirrors you a little bit. So you have like an ability that can throw her, and then like you could literally turn opposite directions and fight 2 people with her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you're saying with Lulu, kind of using picks where you could either shield other people with her, you could have picks auto, like... Or, pick shoots the skill shot, the Q, when you shoot it. So that'd be cool, yeah. Where you position Luma, maybe she has, like... Does she have a wand or something?
She has a little wand that she...
Maybe she has, like, a wand move that does something that you can double shot them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And she just looks like a lot of fun. And she seems like... Maybe she'd be a buff character, too. Kind of a...
Support, maybe even mid. I mean...
Maybe a mid,
yeah.
Lulu mid is a thing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and she'd be really cool. So we'll link that video so you guys can check her out. We put, almost all of them. We didn't put Pichu. We didn't put Ice Climbers. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah.
Ice Climbers can be like jungle or something.
Lucario.
There's a few that we didn't include that I'm sure someone out there has a niche
If you like
for.
Falco and Roy, I know, but they're too similar. Although, the cool thing is, I can't speak to Falco, but Roy, they changed up a lot for Project M. One of my favorite things about Project M is they made Roy a totally different character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to say totally different, but he's a lot different than Marth now. So, sorry if we didn't leave any of the doppelgangers in.
Yeah, or Mr. Game & Watch.
Yeah,
we didn't have Game & Watch.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out like what he would do because he has so much. Like,
right.
I mean,
Octopus.
No.
I mean, he has sewer flick.
I don't like
he
octopus.
has the poison gas like thing.
Dude, that's just puffs of air, man. You
Is it just puffs of air?
Yeah, it's just puffs of air.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the insect repellent.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it looks exactly like insect repellent.
I never knew that. I thought he just here's air.
That's why it does it anyway.
Okay, that's why it locks you down. I wouldn't want to. I'd be coughing and wheezing too. I was getting insect repellent. So, yeah, let us know, guys. Hit us up with your ideas. Mechanically, if, you have anything, seriously, any champs we missed, or, any just even fun little skills that, this, Marth should do this, just say it. It's fun to think about. If you like the idea, and you know a game developer, we don't have this copyrighted, so they can make it. I'm at the point now where I'd like to make this game, because I think it could make some money. Because the way I pictured it, I was telling Big Kev, is I don't think you can get sued if you don't charge. So what you do is, it's just free to play, and it's free everything. You can't charge for skins. You literally can't charge for anything.
Yeah.
You could literally, I think you could get 1 million people playing this easy just by curiosity alone.
Oh,
if you can get the game to be playable and be
well, what you can do is say, hey, you can donate. Wink, wink. And that's how some people have gotten by it.
I think so, but 100% has to be in the development. If you pocket any of that, you can be sued.
Yep.
But yeah, you could do a Kickstarter and take money as long as you put it into the game.
Well, but the development, where the business side of that gets fuzzy, is it's we need to hire these people to run stuff. So that's where it gets fuzzy. But then again, right, it gets big enough, maybe Nintendo would like a slice. Right. Or the whole pizza.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can.
Nintendo would probably take the whole pizza.
Because here's what you say. You say, look, Nintendo, here's a game. We have 1 million people playing it. We have, limited graphics capabilities. We have limited, we have all these other characters that we already have ready to, planned out we could make. We have all these mechanics we could balance with your funding. And, just give us a little portion of that, and you get to make all the money from skins.
Join us. Together we can take on Riot.
Right. Yeah. Look at this alone. Here's what I say, Nintendo.
Coca Riot.
Nintendo, we have 20 playable characters. We have 30 more we can make, and you could sell them. Just you could, let people buy them that aren't going to want to wait to unlock them, kind of thing. And they can make so much money. I think this could work. I really do.
I would be salty if Nintendo just took this idea and did it.
I wouldn't, dude, honestly. Because I'm not going to work hard enough to make this happen. Probably not. But can I play this? Because this sounds awesome.
Yeah, right.
If I ever can just play this game, dude,
we're good.
I can die. I gave something good to the world. I'm like Ash. I'm like Ash, dude. I don't get to keep this game. I'm going to give it up. Okay, let it go out.
Don't you dare try to justify what that man has done.
I need to let this game go and mate and make babies.
Make babies, yes. Make more MOBAs. Wait, wasn't our whole thing started because we were sick of those? We don't.
You've cursed us, Kevin.
We don't like knockoffs. We only like our knockoffs.
knockoffs.
So yeah. But in case nobody's noticed, we contradict ourselves a lot, and that's why it's frivolous.
Yep.
and it's what we want it to be. So, Big Kev,
Gracias.
gentlemen, shake these hands. Thanks for coming. Any farewell or parting words?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, Big Kev, we'll have you on again someday.
Indeed, we will. We're gonna have a sequel to this one. Yeah. Once we thought of more things.
I was gonna say, I kind of just went
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can come up with some more eventually at some point.
But on that pleasant note, like, subscribe, share if you feel so inclined. And thanks for listening.
Stay sleazy, y'all.